Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and it is time for the Quick 3 Tarot for Friday, February. I don't know why I was about to say November, and I felt like I was about to say something in the 20s. What's really going on? February the 3rd, all right? Now, obviously, this is for the collectives, not for a specific sign. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. And yeah, pretty sure I said KIRWKC.com. Obviously, KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Let's get into the energy. So, pre-shuffle energy was interesting. The Fool was at the bottom of the deck when I pulled out the deck. Because for those who don't know, I always look into that to see what card is at the bottom of the deck. Because again, when I do tarot readings, I go to the decks I'm drawn to. I was considering using my Arcanum deck, but then the Disney deck was on my mind. So it's like I was debating between the two, and something was like, just go ahead and do the Disney. So that's what I did. And then when I looked at the bottom of the deck, the Fool was there. Now, when I was doing the pre-shuffle, going into that part, the 10 of coins or 10 of pentacles came out. So that already let me know whatever this journey is, it's going to lead to stability. Also, it will more than likely lead to a lot of money. Another thing that came out was interesting to me was the 7 of Swords, but it was kind of crazy because with the 7 of Swords, usually it can be about deception or strategy. I honestly feel like for some of you, you're going to play broke, is what you're going to play. Like, you'll have money, but you're going to act like you don't have money around people. It's going to be one of those things. And some of you might even take it to the extreme, which I don't recommend this, but we all have free will. You can do what you want to do. But some of you may take it to the extreme of when you go out to places with people, you might ask them to pay the bill, knowing that you have money in your account. And some of you might be looking at it as a penny saved, a penny earned. But, you know, to each his own. So, yeah, some of you might be playing broke. Also, the World card came out at the end of the pre-shuffle once I completed the shuffle, because I do a special type of shuffling. So that lets me know that there's the beginning of a journey and an end of a journey. With the World card coming out, obviously it can mean travel, it can mean recognition. But also what it means is that a lesson has been learned. And because the lesson has been learned, now you're graduating to something new. Is what's happening, hence the Fool card, because don't forget in the major arcana, which are major changes, even though arcana means secrets, but is saying that, okay, the Fool is the beginning of the major arcana, and then everything throughout that is all of the stuff that happens, and then at the end, when you've been through all of that stuff, that's when the World card comes into play, saying, okay, you've been through all of this, you've learned the things that you need to learn, now it's time for you to start the journey again, but this will be a new journey. So, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this and see what comes out in the main energy. May I have the energy for the collective for Friday, February the 3rd? May I have the energy for the collective for Friday, February the 3rd? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? All right. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Swords. Be mindful of certain things. To also, for some of you, for those of you who are being elevated, because obviously this is going to happen to every single person reading or listening to this reading or watching this reading. But for those of you who this does happen to and it resonates with you, be mindful of your attitude. One thing about people, and I'm going to take some cards too while I'm talking. One thing about people is that they hold back their words at times because they are afraid of the fallout that might happen. Hence, 5 of Swords, because that's saying there's usually fallout. 5 of Swords can be about winning at all costs. Also, this air energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. It can be about winning at all costs. It can be about gossip, but also it can be about harsh words. And it can be about you get a victory, but it's with collateral damage, meaning that you had to destroy something, thank you, in the process. So keep that in mind too. Because when people are elevated and they get money or power or money and power and respect, what is it? How Kim say, at first you get the money. After you get the money, then you get the power. And then after you get the power, you get the respect. If you find when people find themselves in those type of circles, their filter isn't as tempered. Their filter isn't as tempered. And what I'm saying to you, just because you might find yourself in a position of status, or that you have more money in your bank account, so if you were to get let go from your job, if you're even working or this or that, that it won't affect you any. So hence, you don't feel you're tied to anyone and no one can hurt you financially. So it's like, okay, I can say what I want to say now. And I'm really going to say some things. I'm telling you, again, you have free will. It's not always best. Okay, that's too many cards. But what card is this? Ace of Wands is at the top, but I'm not taking all of these cards. That's the other thing about this deck. Sometimes the cards clump together. But yeah, it's not always best to just go off on people just because you can. And I feel for some of you, when you find yourself in a new position, you might be tempted to just let people have it. The restraint is one of the most powerful words in the English language. Thank you. Yeah, this is what's happening. Okay, I haven't pulled the third card yet, but I'm going to show you the two. So the Lovers came out. This is about a choice. Now, for some of you, I'm going to keep it 100. Some of you were in a relationship, you're not with that person anymore, and you're going to get this upgrade and going to be on a whole nother level, and you might be wanting to call somebody up or put stuff up on Instagram or whatever on social media because you know your lover follows you, and you're going to be like, okay, I'm really going to give you something to look at now, your ex-lover. Where it's like, oh, look what you missed out on. Some of you might be in that energy, but also this is about a choice. Now, for some of you, because the Lovers originally was known as the choice card, also that's a Gemini energy. Some of you have made the choice not to be broke. What was that saying? Oh, hold on. I got it. It came, because this was something my friend used to say. Going into the new year, he would be like, I'll just use 2023 for an example. He would be like, in 2023, I've made a decision that being broke is against my religion. So, and that would be the thing every year. So whatever year it was, I made a decision that being broke is against my religion. For some of you, the reason you're going to be coming into this money with this Five of Pentacles reversed and this Lovers card, which can be about choices, you've made the choice not to be about being broke anymore. I'm trying to do this because the lighting's on it. And also with this camera, I have to get used to this. But yeah, you made the choice not to be broke. You're like, you know what? This is for the birds. That is what some of you are doing right now, which makes sense because we have the full moon in Leo this Sunday on the 5th. It actually starts on Saturday. But the actual full moon is on Sunday, the 5th. So some of you are making this decision. Some of you are being more bold, which goes with the Fool energy, where you're just willing to put yourself out there. Also, for some of you, I believe that you're finally seeing that certain things are a choice when related to money, home, job, whatever, where it's like, you may have felt that you were stuck in something, but now you're like, wait a minute, there's something better out here for me. I deserve better, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's how your bank account looks, whether it's the home that you stay in, whatever. Take your pick. It could be one or all of those things. Something in the 3D. Could be health, because Pentacles deal with health too. But Pentacles deal with the 3D. There's a choice that's being made that I'm not going to do this. I deserve better. I'm doing something better. Is what's happening for some of you. The energy in the pre-shuffle was get that money. And I feel that is going to be your MO, where you're going to get the money. Okay. Also, I think that was a Chariot card. But I'm going to take one more card, and then we can close this out. For the collective, one more card, please, for the collective. Thank you. This popped up. What is this? Oh, King of Wands. And something's telling me to look at this one too. Six of Cups. Okay. All right. So I'm not taking the Six of Cups. It's just it was sticking out and something told me to look at it. So yeah, some of you are going back to basics. What's at the bottom of the deck? Queen of Cups again. Queen of Cups came out during the pre-shuffle. Some of you might have Cancer in your chart, or you may be a Cancer because this is Cancer energy, or you could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or have water in your chart, or be dealing with someone with water in their chart. King of Wands is entrepreneurial energy, is what that is. I need to put some lotion on. I'm looking at my fingers. But King of Wands is entrepreneurial energy. This is fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Don't forget, again, full moon in Leo this weekend. King of Wands is a take charge type of person. King of Wands is an architect, an entrepreneur. So with the King of Wands energy, this is you looking at things and being like, okay, and honestly, it's about passion too. Don't forget that the Ace of Wands did come out, but I didn't take it because it was too many cards clumped together. But with the Ace of Wands, that is new. With the King of Wands, this is letting me know that you're taking control on this new path of what you're doing. Also with the King of Wands plus the Ace of Wands is the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about long-term planning and decisions. So that is what you're doing. The decision that you've made is not to embrace lack with the Five of Pentacles reverse. In the Lovers, you've made the choice. So, and honestly, that is the energy. Get that money. And if there's somebody that can get money, it's the King of Wands. King of Wands gets money. So, yeah, that is your message. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. Podcast carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, everyone, be blessed.